In our next unit, our volume unit, starting with our cylinders. So we're going to be studying just the cylinder, or the circular shapes in 8th grade. So the ones you learned in 7th grade, rectangular prism, triangular prism, pyramid, those ones we're not going to be covering. We're going to be covering just the cylinders, cones, and spheres. So cylinder is a three-dimensional shape with parallel and equal circular bases. They can be either standing up like this or tipped on their side, but we have circles on either end. We are not worried about surface area, so we're not going to draw nets or anything like this. We're just trying to figure out how much space is inside each one of these cylinders. Now, a cylinder is a lot like a rectangular prism, and a rectangular prism has the equation for length times width times height. Rectangular prism. Not my best drawing here. And what we do with a rectangular prism is you find the area of its base, this rectangle, and find the area of the rectangle is that length times width, and we multiply by the height of the prism, or the distance between the two bases. Cylinder is about the same thing. The volume equation for a cylinder is pi r squared times the height of the cylinder. So pi r squared is the area of the circle. We multiply by the height of the cylinder, and we have found the total volume. So the work I need to see on our homework is this. If not, I'm not going to count it fully complete. First thing, write down the formula you intend to use. Since this is a cylinder, we're going to use pi r squared times the height. We're going to plug in for our radius. And for pi, we're going to estimate pi as 3.14. We're going to do this on our homework as well. 3.14. 6 squared times our height, 12. So we've plugged in. Exponents go first, so we're going to take 3.14 times 36 times 12. Then we're going to multiply all of those numbers together to get our volume. So 36 times 12 times 3.14 gives us 1,356.48. We're going to round to one decimal place to the tenths. So this 8 causes this 4 to become 5. We do have to put units. Since I didn't specify what the units were at the beginning, we're going to put units, and volume is always cubed. So this cylinder here has a volume of 1,356.5 units cubed. Let's try it again. Same idea, we're going to write down the equation that we plan to use. I don't want to see just answers on your homework. If I see it, I'm not counting it. Pi, 3.14, times our radius 8 squared, times our height 7. Multiply all these numbers together. 8 squared goes first, of course, exponents, times 7 times 3.14. That gives us a volume of 1406.72. Once again, we're going to round to one decimal place. So this 2 keeps the 7. So we get 1406.7 units cubed in this case. It is possible that we are given diameter instead of radius, but because the volume formula requires us to have the radius, we're going to take the diameter and cut it in half, and we do the same thing. Volume equals 3.14 times 10 squared times 12. Multiply all these numbers together, remembering to square first, so 10 squared gives us 100, and then multiply by 12. then by 3.14. No decimals to have to round here, it's 3,768, in this case not units, meters cubed. I think I got one last one. So we got 3.7 and 2.5 feet. Again, write down our formula we're going to use, pi r squared times the height. 3.14 for pi, 3.7 squared for diameter, 22.5 for height, 3.7 squared times 22.5 times 3.14. All those numbers multiplied gives us 967.1985. We're going to round to one decimal place, so these numbers do not matter. The 9 causes the 1 to become a 2. Feet were our units, since it's volume, it's cubed. And that is the volume of this cylinder.